Kodak's downfall. How a photography pioneer failed to develop in the digital era. Welcome to Vision Vault, where we uncover compelling stories of innovation, leadership, and sometimes striking failures. Today, we delve into the fascinating yet sobering tale of Kodak, the iconic photography giant that once commanded the world's memories but failed to transition in the era of digital technology. How does a company, credited with creating the very technology that disrupted their industry, find itself on the brink of obscurity? Stick with us as we examine Kodak's meteoric rise, its groundbreaking innovations, and the devastating missteps that transformed its story into a global cautionary tale. To understand the depth of Kodak's fall, we must first acknowledge its incredible rise. Founded in 1888 by George Eastman, Kodak's mission was simple yet revolutionary: to make photography accessible to everyone. Their approach was captured in their famous slogan, "You press the button, we do the rest." Kodak pioneered the development of roll film, making photography far more convenient and versatile compared to glass plate technologies of the time. With affordable, easy-to-use cameras, Kodak brought photography out of the hands of professionals and into households worldwide. By the mid-20th century, Kodak didn't simply dominate the photography market, it was the market. The company enjoyed an almost monopolistic grip, controlling 85% of the U.S. camera market and 90% of film sales. Its products were not just tools but companions, preserving personal milestones across generations. Kodak moments became synonymous with life's most cherished memories. But behind this meteoric success lay a dangerous comfort, a dependency on its enormously profitable film business that would soon become Kodak's Achilles' heel. In 1975, Kodak made a breakthrough that could have cemented its dominance in the future. It invented the first digital camera. That's right, the same company we associate with analog film photography also pioneered the digital imaging space decades before its competitors. The invention came from a 24-year-old engineer named Steven Sasson. Using a CCD, charge-coupled device, Sasson's digital camera prototype could record and display 100 Hz 100-pixel black-and-white images on a television screen. Primitive by today's standards, but revolutionary at the time. When Sasson presented his innovation to Kodak's management, expecting excitement, he encountered skepticism instead. The response? "That's cute, but don't tell anyone about it." Kodak stashed away this groundbreaking invention, fearing it would cannibalize the lucrative film business, a decision that would eventually seal its fate. Their short-sightedness wasn't entirely unfounded. The film business had been their cash cow for decades, driving billions in revenue. But Kodak was so consumed by protecting its current profits that it failed to invest meaningfully in a digital future. They had the technology, yet lacked the vision. While Kodak dragged its feet, competitors like Sony, Canon, and Nikon moved swiftly. By the 1980s and 1990s, these companies were driving advancements in digital imaging technology and began releasing consumer-friendly digital cameras, gradually shifting market expectations. As the tech-savvy audience of Vision Vault, you know that technological change often follows exponential trends. What starts as a slow adoption curve can become a tidal wave seemingly overnight. Kodak underestimated this. It viewed digital cameras as a niche market, catering mainly to professionals, and clung tightly to its traditional film line. By the early 2000s, the wave hit full force. Digital cameras were no longer optional, but essential. Consumers embraced the freedom of unlimited photos, instant previews, and the ability to share images digitally. Meanwhile, Kodak found itself unable to pivot. Their efforts to enter the digital market were half-hearted and poorly timed. Rather than aggressively leading the digital transition, Kodak became a reluctant follower. As demand for traditional film plummeted, Kodak's profitability quickly began to erode. Between 2003 and 2011, Kodak's revenue dropped sharply. The company attempted to diversify, exploring ventures like inkjet printers, but these efforts lacked focus and scale. Every move Kodak made seemed reactive, not proactive. One of the biggest issues plaguing Kodak was its internal culture. Decades as a market leader had given the company confidence, but it was a misplaced confidence that bordered on hubris. Executives struggled to align around strategies bold enough to counteract the rapid shift in consumer preferences. By the time they fully embraced digital cameras, competitors had already cemented their positions. In January 2012, Kodak filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, marking the end of its era as an industry titan. Though the company has carved out a niche in imaging solutions and printing since emerging from bankruptcy, it is a shadow of its former self. Kodak's name, once synonymous with innovation, has largely faded from public consciousness. To truly appreciate Kodak's downfall, we must reflect on the critical lessons it holds for today's tech innovators and business leaders. First and foremost, disruption waits for no one. Kodak's biggest mistake wasn't failing to innovate. They did innovate. Inventing the digital camera was proof of this. The core issue was their resistance to embracing disruptive technologies that threatened their existing profits. Businesses must often make hard choices, sacrificing short-term gains for long-term relevance. For Kodak, the fear of cannibalizing its film sales delayed its entry into digital, allowing competitors to seize the moment. Second, adaptability is survival. As technology enthusiasts, you understand that the pace of innovation is relentless. Market leaders must remain agile, prepared not just to react to change, but to drive it. Kodak, unfortunately, tried to preserve its past rather than architect its future. Third, underestimate consumers at your peril. Kodak assumed consumers would remain loyal to film photography, dismissing early adopters of digital technology as outliers. They failed to anticipate how quickly consumer preferences could shift when presented with superior alternatives, such as the convenience of digital cameras. Finally, Kodak's story illustrates the cost of organizational resistance to change. Leadership must be open to bold decisions, even controversial ones, to ensure the company evolves with the times. Ideas like Steven Sassen's digital camera cannot remain buried in a drawer because they challenge the status quo. So, why does Kodak's fall resonate even today? Because the challenges they faced aren't unique, they're cyclical. History repeats itself, and industry leaders today are grappling with their own disruptions, whether it's artificial intelligence, blockchain, or cloud computing. Even now, we see companies struggling with similar dilemmas. What happens if AI reduces the need for human labor in large industries? What's the future for hardware companies as the world becomes increasingly software-driven? The companies that not only prepare for the future, but actively shape it will be the ones that thrive. Kodak stands as a reminder, no matter how dominant your position, no company is too big to fail. Innovation isn't just about creating new technologies, it's about having the vision and courage to lead them. Kodak's story is more than a tale of failure. It's a powerful lesson in humility, adaptability, and the need for forward-thinking leadership. It's a reminder that even industry pioneers must remain vigilant, anticipating where the world is headed rather than clinging to what brought them success in the past. So, what are your thoughts on Kodak's legacy and mistakes? Are there other companies today that you feel might be walking a similar path? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching Vision Vault, where we uncover the insights hidden within the triumphs and tribulations of the tech world. And above all, remember to stay curious, stay innovative, and as always, keep shining.